I do think that the recovery is going to look very different from past recoveries. In the past, the United States, as the largest economy, has also been the engine of growth. Well, the United States is going to remain the largest economy for a long time to come. The growth is going to come from someplace else. It's going to largely come from Asia, from China in particular. But I think it's important to remember that as we look at that, how China is going to grow is by exporting to the United States and to other parts of the world, including Europe. And so this has really been the first global crisis. And I think what we need to see to get out of it is the first coordinated global recovery.
First of all, the first country which is leading the global economy out of a crisis is China. And it recognizes one fact. This is the first ever crisis that the US alone, or the US and Europe alone, cannot manage without the effective involvement of China and, to a lesser extent, but nevertheless significant one, India. So we see here this crisis marking a turning point in the balance of forces in the global economy. For global growth to continue, it means that the US will have to consume less, and at the same time it means that China will have to consume more.
Small companies here that see themselves as global companies can go and play on the stage in a way that's never been possible before because of communications, transportation, the opening of markets, and so forth. This is what Tom Friedman called the flattening of the world. And I think that reality makes Davos less relevant. If you're looking at where the future of world markets is, it's in small, it's in innovative, and it's in countries that aren't very well represented in the traditional meetings. And that's why I think Davos is a very important meeting for the 20th century. I don't know where the 21st century meeting will be held.
I fully agree that growth in the future will be driven much more, and it has already been in the past, but it will be even more in the future by medium-sized companies. And growth will depend on two very important factors for these companies. Number one, the ability to transform knowledge into innovation. This is very crucial. Number two, it is speed and versatility. One crucial element of globalization has been to accelerate in a tremendous way what we call the process of creative destruction, which means that companies have to find ways to innovate faster, to get to the market faster, to adjust their business model faster in order to sustain this mega competition which is emerging.
The secret to networking is getting out of your house, getting out of your business, going to where the opportunities might be, and making new connections. It involves an action, and it involves interaction. And here you have a meeting called Interactio. And I think that that's the key. Don't talk to yourselves, don't talk to your friends, don't talk to your family, don't talk to just where your business used to be, but find the new connections.
We see today's new forms of networking emerging. As an example, today when you visit India, and as one top business leader in India was telling me 3 weeks ago, he was telling me today there is not a single Indian company worth its name which doesn't have an Africa and a Latin America strategy. Which means that what you see is what I would call the emergence of a new entity or a new configuration or constellation, which is what I will call the BRIC Plus.
I think we're at a period of real change and transformation. And one of the reasons we're at a period of change and transformation is that the United States has lagged behind and is now preparing to change its strategy. The Obama administration has embraced the global climate talks. The Obama administration is committed to capping emissions in the United States. The Obama administration is committed to an entirely different approach than in the past.
Now the key issue is, do we have at the present moment the necessary technology resources to achieve the kind of goals that some people want to set in terms of capping carbon emission? I think at this stage we have to be very careful about the kind of goals that can be set, because if they are inachievable and if they are rejected by developing countries, then the situation will become worse than what it is today.
I think we should be overambitious on setting the goals. I think we should set goals that are hard to reach, and I think we should push ourselves to those goals, because that's the only way that will avert what is the biggest single threat to the global economy and to life on Earth, which is climate change.